Hi there. My name's Gage McGilver and I go to Steele Accelerated High School. At the beginning of this year, we were assigned a senior legacy project that was assigned basically to show a way you could improve the community in a way that could be reflected throughout your career path you choose to take. Well, throughout my life, I've been introduced to different mental disorders, like psychological disorders that I've had, whether it be with like social anxiety just in general with any circumstance, or anything like that. And that's very common through teenagers these days. And I can only think to myself that a lot of this has to come from school. Because you can ask any teenager these days, school is extremely stressful. School is a place where you're expected to be the absolute best person you can be, whether it be academically, whether it be socially, whether it be respectfully. In any way, you're expected to be the greatest person you can possibly be. So, my career path that I wanted to choose is to be a psychiatrist. I wanted to be a psychiatrist just because, not only for my love of medicine, my love of chemistry and things like that, but just because I love talking with people, interacting them. I've been sort of that outlet for many of my friends in the past who don't really know if they have anywhere else to turn, and they come to me, and I've been able to talk them out of bad situations or be there for them when they need me most. And that was about the time when I was most happiest in my life, is when I could help out my friends in that kind of way. That's what made me want to become a psychiatrist. And how I want to do this senior legacy project is I want to enact something called SuperCharged Day. SuperCharged Day is a day in which all of our students at our school, Steele, the place where I originated, can just come together and have a day of not just relaxation. This isn't a day about blowing off your classes. This is a day about getting to know your peers, getting to know your students at your school, having a good time with your teachers, things of that nature. After I spoke with Principal Robin Ellis over this, who is my mentor, she informed me of some very important statistics over the project, and I have a presentation that I made over that. Things such as the attendance rate. When you look at the attendance rate within 2 weeks of Supercharged Day, you're looking at a 99% consistency. Most schools would kill to have something like this. 90% of schools, that's not an accurate statistic, that's just an assumption. A good amount of schools believe, or very certainly want, that they want their attendance rates to be as high as possible. Because it gets their money, it helps the students exceed academically, and it does many things for them. Schools go out of their way in any way possible to show incentives for doing this. This is an incentive for students to say, hey, I can come to school and I know more people, I'm getting to know them, and I know what I'm getting into every day. The student return home to home campus rate. At Steele Accelerated High School, we're very common to taking in students who have already been to a high school before, and one of the rates I wanted to show off was that less than 10% of our students want to return to the campus that they came from after they come to Steele. I'm not showcasing Steele right now. I'm showcasing that because of the community we have at Steele, thanks to things that we have specifically to our school, such as Supercharged Day, that makes us such a small, tight-knit, close community, students do not want to return to the place they came from because they are so happy with the school that they chose. So my own experiences with Supercharged Day, I must mention that during my junior year of high school, I was in the early form of student government we had known as Excel. I was experienced in planning it, creating the activities for it, and planning, the entire day as a whole. It was a challenge, but that was because we had mainly students throughout the entire thing. But I believe that at any school who wants to enact something like this, if they want their attendance to go up, if they want their students to be happy at their school, if they want a community to go down and have a very safe, loving home of a campus, then this is certainly something that is achievable. Throughout my own experiences, something like this is of the utmost importance because we really want students to feel like their school is not only a safe place, but a place where they can be happy. I don't want students going to school every day saying they do not want to go, they are dreading it, they hate going to school every day. I want students to be just so happy that they can go to school in a place where everybody knows who they are, likes them for the person that they are, and they can be comfortable being the people that they are. And like I said, how I wanted to be a psychiatrist, I believe that because students spend so much time, through high school, being in school in general, they spend almost half their lives, their early childhood in school. I believe it is one of the most important places to reform the roots of the stress that we have and where they come from.
My mama told me, son, you could be anything, long as you spread your wings. I know one day you'll be great. Just wait, soon you'll aim up at the sky and I'll watch it float away. But now that I am older, I'll admit that I am over all the stress that comes from molding life upon your shoulders. It's a chore, I'm sick of being bored. I'm sick of always stressing over the shit I could ignore. I guess it's just my own immaturity burning through me internally. Take imagination and making it a reality. So pause, break off, I'll be right back. Pay a visit to the past, tell them all that I'm just for a second. I don't wanna worry about nothing for a while. I just wanna play around, living like a child with old tunes jamming on my Walkman and some Sour Patch Kids and a Coke can. I don't wanna think about anything at all. I just wanna run around doing what I want with a pretty girl and a slow jam and some Sour Patch Kids and a Coke can. I just wanna go back to old school, old news, road rules, Fresh Prince cartoons, good raps, dope tracks. And I'm not trying to be on it, I'm just trying to be honest. Pack lunch, school crush, bus home and play Sonic. I have been there, I have done that, made my mark.
Next, you're going to see some interviews that I conducted with some random students that I found about the campus, and you can see that by their reactions how they truly feel about how SuperCharged Day is able to affect our student community here at Steele and the way it works. And I want you to listen very carefully to each word they say and think about how this small portion of our school is actually a large percentage of the students that we have, and how many students that you could physically affect at your own school, and how great it would be to have something like this occur. Alright, Jacob, so what does SuperCharged Day mean to you?
Well, Supercharged to me means a little more than just the event itself. And for us, it's almost like our field day, but there's so much more. All of our school at one time gets together, and we get to participate in activities together, not separated by class or subject or A1 or not A1. It's about Steele as a whole, and that's one of the most beautiful things. And I don't think you could find that at any other high school.
Alright, Bergen, so what does SuperCharged Day mean to you?
SuperCharged Day means to me a development of family and character here at Steele. It's a day in which students who don't know each other and students who do know each other get to learn and to come together as one big family here at Steele.
Alright, Ryan, so what does SuperCharged mean to you?
To me, SuperCharged is just a day where you get to hang out and meet a ton of new people and make friends that you would never make sitting in the classroom and working. It's a day to, recharge and be ready for a new semester or come back from a very busy one and just feel like you're ready to get back into that groove of school again. It just makes you feel happy to be a part of the school and proud to be friends with all these cool people.
All right, Allie, so what does Supercharged Day mean to you?
Supercharged to me is a day that me and my school can get together, have fun together, be able to not focus about the academics as much, but more of being a family, being a team, especially since our school is so small, so that we can focus on just getting to know each other and just being around each other and enjoying each other.
All right, so after Supercharged Day or around those days, have you noticed any kind of significant changes in the society of our school or just the school in general? After Supercharged, there's usually it's almost like a burden's been lifted off folks' chests. I mean, there's still exams and things, but thanks to the efforts of some of our students, we have the ability to be exempt from them. And so the stress is almost partially relieved. It's like Fun Day Friday, but every day, to some degree. If you've noticed any sort of changes on or around Supercharged Day in the community or the teachers or just the school itself, what have you noticed?
I've noticed that teachers often and students often feel more revitalized and that they feel more passionate because they know that they're a part of a group and that they belong to something and not just another person in the crowd. And that's something that Steele's Supercharged Day really capitalizes on.
One thing from Supercharged, what would that be and why?
I would take away just all the great friends because it's something that'll last a lifetime. You know, you can play a fun game or you can learn a cool thing in the class, but a friend is going to be there forever.
And in our school, what kind of changes have you seen in either the community or just the school in general on or around Supercharged Day?
I noticed that Supercharged, we are a lot more excited. We're ready to go and ready to be together and work together. We're more pumped to be together as a team rather than on regular days we might want to be more alone or more reserved. And so it brings us together.
Perfect. And if you could take away one thing from Supercharged, what would you take away from it? I would take away the experiences that one has with their friends and with their Steele family, because a few years we'll all be gone from here, and there's nothing more cherishable, in my opinion, than a memory. All right, and if you could take one thing away from Supercharged Day as a whole, what would it be?
It's definitely togetherness and family, because here at Steele we are all one big family, and Supercharged is a big celebration of that bond that we all share as one big Steele family.
At all with how people acted or how the school just was overall? What change do you think you may have seen around Supercharged Day?
The biggest thing is the school feels a lot more friendly and united. Like, it just feels like everyone wants to be together even more than they were before. It feels like everyone is happy to be around each other and they want to continue to have that fun every day.
All right, and if you could take one thing away from Supercharged Day, what would that be?
To work together as a family. It's very important, I feel like, especially in Supercharged. It allows us to do that and to just have fun, even if maybe something like school might not seem fun to you. Like, there are times when you can have fun in school, so it's a good time together.
To answer my own questions, if I had to take one thing away from Supercharged Day, I would definitely take away the experience that you get from seeing everybody. Because for me, being a part of planning it was such a huge process, and that was a stressor on its own, I won't lie. But at the end of the day, when I got to see everybody walking away from it, so happy, just seeing the smiles on their faces, it was the most rewarding experience I've ever had in any school. It wasn't even necessarily a project, but in any school-related activity I'd ever done, that was probably the most influential thing for me to see. The moral of what I want to say is that I truly believe that Supercharged Day can change the way our schools work and the way that students look at schools, because the most important thing is for students to feel comfortable in what they're doing And I think that Supercharged Day could be the future in creating community and creating companionship between all of our students, no matter what previous circumstances they may have undergone, whether it be mental disorders, whether it be social anxiety, whether it be complete disregard for other students, want to be together. I want to make them feel like this is a safe place for them to be and a good opportunity for them to forget about all the preconceptions they may have had of other students and want to give everyone a chance, because I'm guilty of that too. I know everyone is. A lot of people, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but how many people can say they haven't seen one person off the street and say, hey, they probably do this thing, they probably don't like this. And I want to prove to the world that you don't have to use your preconceptions to judge other people. I want to prove that you need to use experiences, and the amount of work you need to put in to actually get to know someone is quite worth the effort.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also